Welcome to January Pet Resort, where pet luxury has never been more affordable. Welcome back, everyone, to the January Pet Resort podcast. Thank you for joining us. If anyone hears any squeaking or chewing in the background, Groot is in the studio with us today while we are recording. That is my puppy. So please excuse any background noise that you may hear because that is just him being a puppy. So Dave, today, you know what I want to talk about?
Tell me.
I want to talk about this weather that we have been having and this heat. We feel for anyone right now who's having any issues when it comes to brownouts and not enough power on the electric grid that's having problems keeping their homes.
It's all the storms.
Cool and stuff. Also, if you, again, know anyone who is elderly, please check on your elderly neighbors. Please make sure that they are okay. If they need anything and you have a moment that you can go out and run some errands for them, let us help our neighbors out.
Yeah, community. It's important.
If anyone out there needs anything, you are more than welcome to give January Pet Resort a call, and we will be happy to help you out.
That was very nice.
Thank you. Well, neighbors helping neighbors,
That's
man.
right, yeah.
That's how this world needs to work.
Don't just talk the talk.
Don't just talk the talk. Walk the
it.
walk. Statistically, last year in 2024, there was 111 animals that died in heat-related deaths. There was 388 that were rescued from the heat. Cars, let's talk about that real quick. It's a sunny day. It's 70 degrees out. Feels pretty good. I'm going to take my dog with me. If you close your windows or even have them cracked 1.5 inches and it is a sunny day, within 19 minutes, your car is going to be 89 degrees. About 40 minutes, your car is going to be 104 degrees. You know, if you make that what we've been experiencing recently, 95 degrees, in 39 minutes, your car is going to be 129 degrees. In the winter, if the roads are icy and we're supposed to get a snowstorm, my dogs are staying home. There is a chance I might slide off the road. I'm going to make sure that if that does happen, my pet's not in the car. So we have to be conscientious when we're out and we have our dogs with us in the summer and it's really hot out. Let's go ahead and just think, does my dog really have to go with me? I'm going to pick my dog up from January Pet Resort and I need to run to the grocery store. Should I just take the extra time it takes to run home, drop my dog off, and go back out? 100%.
Absolutely.
Yes, you should take the time to go home, drop your pup off, and then run out to the grocery store.
Right, your dog should be able to stay at home.
For as long as it takes for you to run to the grocery store, at least. They will look at you with sad puppy dog eyes when you leave, but they will be very, very happy when you come back. So let's keep that in mind. Now, one thing that they do have out there, I don't know if you've seen it, I've seen it on social media recently. It's very interesting. It is called the Waggle Pet Monitor. It was actually produced for people who go RVing and have pets with them when they go RVing. It gives you real-time alerts for temperature and humidity in your RV. It gives you power loss. Like, say your RV's running the air conditioner and you lose power, it will tell you that your RV has lost power. It does have a battery backup and there is a phone app. So you can get that, and though it's specifically designed for RVs, you can put that in your car. And there are some cars out there now, I believe, that has a mode for your pets being in the car, and like on this big screen in the center, it says, you know, the temperature is such and such. This, you know, this is the temperature inside the car right now.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah. So people, when they look into the window, it's telling them, you know, the dog's in here, the dog's safe. This is what the internal temperature of the car is.
I like the app thing.
Exactly. So, but that Waggle thing is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Waggle. I'm actually thinking about getting one. It is on sale right now. I was on the website this morning. It is right now $59. It's normally $199. And then adding a line to your phone, you know, whatever that may be, anywhere between probably $10 and $20.
I mean, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Concerning children and dogs.
Yeah, 100%. We also have to remember when we take our dogs places that might not allow dogs, please remember to be respectful of the people who are there with service pets, legitimate service pets. Not all pets are allowed to go where service pets are able to go. When you go into a grocery store...
Yeah, leave your emotional support animal in the car.
Whatever animal that you have with you, unless it is a legitimate service animal, should not be going into the grocery store, because only service animals are allowed in the grocery store.
Right. So if you're traveling with your dog, you should already have a plan on what to do with your dog if it's going to be too hot in the car, unless you plan on keeping it running.
Which you definitely can. Listen, if you're traveling, you have to remember.
If you're traveling.
If you're traveling, there are certain circumstances where you do have your dog in the car with you.
Yeah, if you're traveling.
And a lot of cars nowadays, you can leave them running, take the keys with you, make sure the car is locked so that nothing happens. Your dog, your vehicle doesn't get stolen. Just please remember, anytime you take your animal into a store that technically only allows service animals, you are doing a disservice to the service animals that are there for a legitimate reason if your dog is not behaving appropriately. So get the waggle, leave your pup in the car.
So let's talk about cement heat for a minute.
Sure.
I put my hand down on the sidewalk, you know, and if I can't keep it there for more than like 10 seconds, I just take my hand off. I won't walk them on it.
What they usually say is you put the back of your hand, so not the palm of your hand, but you want to put the back of your hand on the concrete.
Okay.
Hold it there for a minimum, on the asphalt as well. Hold it there for a minimum of 7 seconds. If you can keep it there for 7 seconds, your dog can theoretically walk on that without any issues.
Right.
So,
And that's if you just have to take it out for a
if you
walk.
have to take it out.
You can't wait another
Right, exactly.
until
'Cause
dusk.
remember, like, we've had a lot of temperatures recently that have been in the 90s. So, you know, when you're in the 90s with the sun directly on cement, that cement can feel 125.
Exactly, yeah.
And if it's asphalt, that can feel 140. It takes about 60 seconds for the dog's pads to burn.
What's the temperature difference between the concrete and the asphalt?
The asphalt.
Yeah.
So you have 125 for concrete, say in the low 90s, and you have 140 for asphalt.
Yeah, it's much hotter.
It's much hotter. And just remember that asphalt is absorbing. It's black. It's absorbing and holding. And we've all walked on asphalt when it's been really, really hot. And
Barefoot.
Well, I have not walked on asphalt
I have
barefoot.
when I was a kid.
No.
I mean, you know, like whatever. In the 70s, it was popular to run around without shoes.
Sure.
Apparently, you know, wearing shoes everywhere now.
Right.
To protect your feet is in. No more drinking out of garden hoses.
Right. Exactly.
So, but I've had to walk on asphalt.
Even when you're
hot.
It's hot. And when you walk in shoes, have you ever walked in shoes on asphalt and it's felt soft?
Yeah. Because it's so hot.
Because it's so hot.
It's like melting to your shoe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
just
I have a good
crazy.
idea. Let me take my dog on a mile walk on it.
So, but we still want to walk our dogs. So what we want to think of is, when are we walking our dog? We
Yeah.
want to walk them as early in the morning as we can before
Yeah.
the sun, you know, gets and is at its strongest. Or we want to wait until at night after the sun's going down and things are starting to cool off. You can almost feel it in the air.
Yeah.
When you realize it's going to be safe for you to be able to take your dog out and take him for a walk. The other thing is drive to your local park.
Where they can just be on grass.
Yeah,
And
that's
then it can really get the lead out there.
So you also have to remember that when it's this hot out, you have to be careful when it comes to heat stroke. There are certain dogs that are more prone to heat stroke, but I think only because their temperature gets so high that then they become dehydrated.
So some dogs need more hydration than others.
Some dogs will need more hydration than others.
Or
yes.
heat stroke can be a symptom of that.
Exactly.
Not getting-
Yeah.
yeah.
So with dogs, their normal body temperature is between 99.5 and 102.5. And that's going to depend on the dog, the breed. It's going to depend on the dog individually, and it's going to depend on what they've been doing. That will depend on what the temperature is. Now, in a heat stroke situation, your dog's going to have a fever. If you have ever taken your dog's temperature because they're not acting right and it is 106 and up, then that is a veterinary emergency. So there are certain breeds that are more prone to heat stroke. You know, we have our overweight dogs, just like people. Overweight, you can't handle the heat as well. Heat stroke can happen. We have the brachycephalic dogs. So those are all the dogs that have their pushed in noses. So we're talking about pugs, Frenchies, bulldogs, boxers, Pekingese. Anybody who's got that short palate and the noses are pushed in, they have problems breathing. We get this question all the time. You know, I have a boxer. Well, what happens when it's hot out? We're laser focused on your dog.
Right.
That's what happens. Obviously, what we say is, you know, we have a lot of experience. We will make sure that they're not out too long, that they're well hydrated. They have access to clean, fresh water all the time. We're going to make sure that they're not overdoing it. Make sure that they come back in. They have a nice, cool place to lay down.
Because
to cool
hopefully
off.
you got that breed and you're well versed in the fact that your dog is more prone to these incidences because of their breathing, right?
Well, this is what people are asking us, if we know how to handle these dogs. So yes, we know how to handle dogs who are brachycephalics when it comes to being 90 degrees out. You know, these are dogs where maybe they're group approved, and guess what? It's so hot, we're not putting them in group. We're going for a walk on the nature trail. It's too hot to even let these dogs run around and overexert themselves because there's too much of a chance that they're going to end up having an issue with heat stroke. Say we have a Malamute come. We have a Husky come. We have a long-haired Shepherd. We have a Newfoundland. These dogs are all double-coated dogs. So those dogs, if they have been groomed properly, their hair is made to protect them from the heat in the summer and the cold in the winter. I have walked up to dogs that have stayed with us, some of these breeds, and realized that they're so packed with undercoat that they're going to overheat.
People aren't brushing them out.
Because they haven't been brushed. Their undercoat hasn't been taken out. So that dog might go in group because of its coat condition. I can't put that dog in group. It has to go for a walk because it will overheat because its coat isn't able to do what it normally needs to do by keeping them cool. We see it happen more with your doodles.
With the coat issue.
The coat issues.
And them not being brushed out.
Exactly. And a lot of it is because doodles have incredibly high maintenance coats. Like I always say, and you and I have had this conversation before, I always say we live in a world where we're constantly running. And sometimes it's hard to take that time to brush your dog. At the same time, if your dog isn't being brushed, then what is best for the dog is what we need to do. And if that's shaving your dog, then that's shaving your dog. We know that people like to get doodles because they're fluffy and they're cute and you can make them look like little teddy bears. Our job is to make sure your dog is as comfortable as possible when it comes to grooming. So the clippers that the groomers use have comb guards. Think about it. You need the bottom of that comb to get to the skin, which means that clipper needs to smoothly flow through the hair in order to get a smooth cut using the comb guard. So if we take a regular comb and put it in the hair and we can't pull that comb all the way through the hair, how's the comb guard going to do it?
Right, because when it mats, it eventually mats down by the skin.
It does mat down by the skin.
Which means there's only one choice.
Yeah, and that's called pelting. When it mats in one layer all down by the skin.
Oh, wow.
So you have matting and you have pelting. And so pelting is when, if you've ever seen on social media, you'll see them sometimes where they shave dogs and it comes off as one big, like they can almost lay out the dog.
Like a little carpet.
Exactly. That's their coat is pelted.
Oh, that's awful.
And that's the next stage above.
I can't imagine how uncomfortable that is for the dog.
Well, it does get uncomfortable because it pulls on their skin. A lot of times you'll get matting or the pelting like between their back legs. So if it's a boy and he lifts his leg, his skin's being pulled, which is why we say the only thing we can do is shave your dog. That's the one great thing about grooming dogs is the hair grows back. If you have a Pomeranian, if you have a long-haired German Shepherd, if you have a Husky, there are certain breeds of dogs that shouldn't be shaved. We don't see it as much anymore as we used to here. We typically try and say no to shaving dogs like that, but we have done it in the past. It's not what you should be doing. You should be brushing and de-shedding and pulling the undercoat out because that's what they're meant to be. But we do educate and let people know we can shave your dog, but we cannot and will not promise that the hair will grow back the way it was. We've had Pomeranians who have been shaved and they've come back and they feel almost like Brillo pads. The hair's not smooth anymore because those follicles get damaged and the hair gets damaged.
So the dog should have never been shaved to begin with.
Right.
But sometimes you're put in situations where you don't have a choice.
Exactly.
That's sad.
So those are the dogs that still need the upkeep when it comes to brushing them out. We always do is what we call a bath and neaten instead of a full groom, which is a shave, where we're just going to sculpt them. You don't like the long hair strangling down on their belly, the groomers will lightly scissor that. Or you have the feathers on the golden retriever's legs and it gets covered in mud in the spring when it's all muddy out. We can cut that. We're not taking shavers to it, we're taking scissors, and we can tighten it up and get it so it's closer to the skin and it blends in. Or like a lot of golden retrievers and Newfoundlands and Bernese mountain dogs and long-haired shepherds, I call it the pantaloons. They have a lot of butt hair, and we want
so true.
And we want to go ahead and sculpt that, get that a little tighter, so that when they're going to the bathroom, it's clean. When they're sitting down outside,
and it must be comfortable for them as well.
Right. So we can definitely do that, but we don't want to shave them. But with the heat, when it comes to dog comfort, if your dog is matted and it needs to be shaved, we are going to shave it because it can take hours to demat a dog and it is very painful. So know the signs and symptoms of heat stroke. If anybody has any other questions or anything, we are always here. We are happy to answer them for you. I think we're going to go ahead and sign off for right now. Remember, not only to keep your dogs cool, keep yourself cool, check on your neighbors, check on your friends, help out where you can. Otherwise, have a safe and healthy one, and we will see you guys next time.